Okay, this is just going to be a little guide on doing these dream sequences with all 10 idols on. The setup is pretty much the same for all 4 of them, so we'll just go over the loadout real quick. I'm going to be using the pike and the cannon. I believe the special for the Calamity Rockets is one of the best. It has not a whole lot of damage, but the knockback on it is really good to push enemies off the map if you don't want to fight them. So for the pike, we're just going full melee setup. I really think the ignore armor is super useful. So if you like to go throwing for some reason, I still say pick up ignore armor. And for the cannon, we're going pretty much pure damage and attack speed. So we're grabbing knockback, charge up speed over radius. We're going damage over reload speed and more charge up speed over radius. This bottom one here is optional. I tend to not like the seek. The damage fields comes in handy, but the seeking can kind of make it hard to hit targets that you want to prioritize. If you have a bunch of squirts in your face and you're trying to hit something behind them, the tracking's going to make it impossible to hit it. And for our drinks here in the distillery, it's a mix between defensive and offensive. So we've got some health and crit and some reflect damage. Healing when you counter block, which will come in handy a little bit. It's not super mandatory, but it helps. Some damage resistance. The Zealous, a little bonus I like. It's not going to come in to play very often, but it is nice. Leech Aid is probably the most important one. The side effects obviously hurt, but because the idols make it so enemies don't drop tonics, we don't have a lot of them. This is a very, very good way to maintain a full health pool, especially some of the waves in the later levels will have really tanky enemies that you can go from no health to full health. So if you're going to grab any of these 100%, the Leech Aid is the most important. And the Champagne, it's probably not good to use. I like the damage, but you have no downs. If you lose all your health, that's it. You have to start back from the beginning. So I would take or leave this one. If you're pretty confident, take it. If not, that damage you'll miss the damage because the enemies do regenerate, but better safe than sorry, huh? And just showing everything's active. Really the main things, well, why we're using the spear is this Akobe here and this one here, this U-Drake. The hammer, you have to get way too close. You just constantly take damage from the 2 of these. So that's that. And we'll get into it right here. Alright, here we go. We're going to go to the 4th and final little dream sequence here at the books. Alright, come on. This one's a little slow to start. As you go on further, these little squares on the floor here will become cover for you to hide behind. And these big squirts, well, I killed most of them already, I was going to say. These big squirts are pretty common here on this arena, so a trick to kill a big group of them would be to dodge a couple times and then just turn around and hit him with the cannon. It'll take out the whole group. And those turrets there with the little laser beam, they don't do a whole lot of damage, but they're dangerous because of the slow that the idol gives the enemies. They can slow you down enough that everything else can pretty much kill you.
It covers the important things, in a manner of speaking.
All hitting each other. I'm gonna say you can sometimes get lucky and they'll knock each other off the edges. I don't know what they're all doing though. Just keep our distance here.
Here we go. A is for Kobe, the goddess of oath and abandon. Make a promise, and the chastened knave will
Waves like this, where you have the spawners, it's generally best to clear out everything except the spawners and save them for last. And then here's basically what I was talking about. It's an easy way to clear out the big group.
He's faster than a fork of lightning, and his aim is always true. If news needs spreading, tell it to a breaker. C is for core. A perfect bit of stone found deep underground. It makes the city shine day and night. Is there anything it can't do?
I would ignore the pith and kill the slimes before they get too strong. If you get caught like I did, you can pretty much out heal their damage.
D is for dread rum, a potent spirit brewed from a foul-smelling plant that grows in the wilds. One taste will sharpen your senses.
Oh, I didn't even notice that second one spawned right on top. I always have bad luck with these turrets reflecting my shots.
E is for evacuation. In an emergency, stay calm, leave your belongings, and make your way to the nearest safe haven.
These waves. The lunkheads actually kill the squirts when they jump on them, so you can kind of ignore them and focus on the lunkheads. If you get lucky, you can get stuck on this. And the spear has enough range to go through it. And because we grabbed the armor piercing, you don't have to worry about getting behind him.
Even grand ideas start small.
I heard another bootlegger spawn somewhere.
G is for Garmuth, the god of purpose and folly. The crippled Duke reminds us that good intentions are nothing on their own.
And some arrows. And then these enemies are kind of why I grabbed the heal on counter block.
H is for Hensa.
It's kind of a free heal when you get caught in the open like that.
Can't have one without the other. The veiled widow makes sure of it. Ace of Trouble, a song grown famous across the land, dedicated to the pioneering spirit of Ceylondia.
Pretty sure Wave 19 has the big lung blossom plant. I guess we'll see here in a second. I would... Yeah, there we go. I would focus on the turrets before him. His attacks are pretty easy to avoid. And then, if you take any hits from the turrets, this guy's tanky enough to heal you back up.
J is for Javel, the god of health and atrophy. We each have the Tower Keeper's strength in us, until that strength runs out.
So on wave 18, we've got another big lunkhead. Save him for last. You can, as I'm about to say, you can avoid him pretty easily. I get slapped in the face. But he's tanky enough where all the little area dot damage the other enemies do on this wave, you can just get him stuck on a pillar and heal yourself back up.
K is for kid, a guy or gal just like you. Don't be in such a hurry to grow up, since there's nothing a kid can't do.
And the general theme when there's a lot of squirts like this, just kill what's around them. And then just...
L is for Lemaine, the god of hope and despair. The Mason King knows that success and failure are all in the mind.
And here we go. We got... So you don't want to be near that bootlicker with these guys. These guys can kill you very quickly. Yeah, there's actually two of them. So if you see them spawn pretty close to you, you want to get to the other side of the arena. So you have the freedom to move while those guys are running around you.
And in the end, we all return to her.
Ankle Gator you can save for last. He's very easy to avoid while he has full health because he's slow. And then he's tanky enough to let you heal back up from the damage you took from the ranged auras.
N is for Nordy, the bird boy, who's always there to bring a smile at the Hanging Gardens, thanks to his feathered friend.
And then right after him is going to be an elite ranged aura. You want to kind of get a safe spot and fight her over there. There we go.
O is for Alec, our young god of chance and whim. The carefree son lives forever in the moment. The rest of us
And here, there's going to be one of those elite melee guys, I believe. Yeah, there he is. I'm going to have a clear area to fight this guy as well. You can just pull up your shield and attack right after him. You don't want to have him and one of those mechanical piths on you.
P is for Pith, the god of commotion and order. When the wakeful bull is calm, let's all do our part to keep him that way.
And again, I think there's two small ankle gators on this one. Unless it's just the one. No, there is two. So yeah, those you just want to... Same thing as before, they're easy to avoid, just avoid them. Just take advantage of the fact that we get health when we hit things, so. Same there. If you only manage to do more damage to one, try and focus on one at a time then. Because they'll come up at different times, and you'll get free hits when the fast one comes up and you're not expecting it.
Q is for Queen Anne, the notorious ankle gator.
And 11 here. This is one of the first harder waves. All these are poison archers. If you get caught in a bad spot, they can do a lot of damage really quick. It seems kind of counterintuitive to be super aggressive, but if you can kill them all before they all spawn, it's best.
The gorging host reminds us to always.
If you hide behind a wall and then give them a chance to all spawn, you don't really have anywhere to hide. Oh, that reflect wasn't good. So then, like waves like this is why I don't like the heat-seeking upgrade for the cannon, because you can't hit what you want to hit. Like right now, you want to get rid of this bootlicker. And with the heat-seeking, you wouldn't be able to do that because it would track the squirts that are right on top of you. And same thing we've been doing. Just roll past him.
S is for scumbag. A big, lumpy old fellow who sidles about. He loves eating trash. Just be sure to keep a healthy distance.
I didn't even see that turret. As long as you play kind of aggressive, you can keep your health up. Obviously, you don't get too reckless, but...
The army's sharpest shooter. Take pride in Caelandia's mounted soldiers. They risk it all to keep us safe.
Again, you can use these walls and attack through them with the spear, because it has that range. Very good on those archer, ranger, Uras.
U is for Ura, our pale neighbors to the east, whose homes are underground.
And I believe this is wave 7, yeah. So this is going to be this guy. So look how much damage he does in one hit. So what you want to do is just get him close to an edge. Right after he hits, use the Calamity Cannon special. And just cheap your way out of that. Oh, this guy.
V is for vigil,
All right.
an act in remembrance. The sacrifices of our forefathers gave us a new beginning here in Caelandia.
Get rid of this guy since he spawned next to me. Normally, you can kind of avoid those because they shoot pretty slow. If you get a chance like this, definitely take them out. I have a bad habit of using melee when I shouldn't. These guys are much easier to kill with the cannon. That the damage on the floor still does damage to them.
Nelly, the Langston River's fastest little ferry barge. We couldn't have crossed that river without her help.
These, you can kind of kite them around. Oh.
X is for nothing. Stranger's letter in the mix. Yet even the stranger's letter has its use, as you couldn't have a mailbox.
4. This is going to be 2 big lunkheads and a bunch of squirts. You want to just kill the spawners. The lunkheads will actually jump on the squirts, like just like that. I don't know if these guys will jump off the edge. I'd like to get one of them stuck, just like that. Don't forget to use the terrain to your advantage on these. That's by far the easiest way to do this. Just make sure you move so his little shell doesn't land on you.
Gotta impulse and bravery. Each time the morning stallion stamps his hoof, somebody out there makes up his mind.
Alright.
Z is for Zolwood, a tough old plant whose gourds make great target practice. Whatever you do, don't eat him.
Yep. Whoa. Don't see all these plants hiding behind the bushes or behind the walls. Good thing here, this guy help us get some health back.
The end. There's nothing after Z.
Here, you want to make sure you got
Used to be one more
somewhat
page
full
in here,
health.
though, before somebody tore it out. Know what it said?
There's this poison guy, and I'm pretty sure there's a halberd or on this wave. Yeah, so this boss guy does a lot of damage. Same way we handled every other guy. Just got to do it kind of quick because an ankle gator will spawn.
Last
we go.
page of this book was about the author. Didn't say much, but the imagination.
Definitely one of the
is
harder
the gaps.
and longer ones, but as long as you know how to save stronger enemies for last to top yourself back off and use that terrain in your to your advantage, however you'd like to say it. But that's it. Took about 22 minutes, but it's not bad. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.